Hi guys, as usual, all the necessary links in the video description and my test system setup details also in the video description. Now, SMSL D200 is a mystery digital to analog converter that I have first seen in the marketing graphics for SMSL PL210T that I've reviewed some time ago, about a month ago I think. This is supposed to be a digital to analog converter matching PA200 power amplifiers and PL200T CD transport stack. And it was supposed to be based on Asahi Kasei 4499EX. And now it's finally here, but it's based on a ROHM BD34352E KV that I will be calling just ROHM from now on. So it's based on a ROHM decoder that we've seen in some other SMSL digital to analog converters. Since I have reviewed and I really liked PL210T and twin PA200 setup, so both the CD transport and PA power amplifiers, I got one here to make my stack complete. It's available on Aoshida for something like $319, and that's the base price. Aoshida follows the sales that are on Ali, so you will be able to get that one cheaper if you will wait for the sale. But still, $319 is not much, and this price makes it the cheapest part of the matching stack so far, because both PL210T and PA200 were more expensive than this guy. So, the very interesting thing about it is that it has an external 10 MHz clock input. I will show you that in a minute. And that's something you can usually get with digital to analog converters 4 or 5 times the price. Actually, this is the cheapest digital to analog converter that has external 10 MHz input clock available that I'm aware of. If I'm wrong here, give me a shout in the comments, but as of today, that's the state of my knowledge. This is the cheapest digital to analog converter that allows you to connect external 10 MHz clock input, and this is actually a very important thing, very important upgrade, and it's so important that I've prepared additional section of my review for that. So let's start with talking about some numbers and functionalities. This guy will accept anything up to PCM 32 bits and 768 kHz and DSD 512. It does MQA decoding, so that's cool because PL210T is able to read MQA and it's also able to decode MQA. It has Bluetooth 5.1 with all necessary codecs including LDAC and aptX HD. And the actual numbers, the performance, the analog part performance is quite nice because THD plus noise is given as 0.000 193%, so that's really a low total harmonic distortion and noise level. SINAT is given as 114 decibels. Signal to noise ratio is given as 123 decibels, and dynamic range is also specified as 123 decibels. So, all in all, the numbers look very good, and obviously the numbers are measured and given without external clock, with the internal one. Interestingly, I've seen that just a couple of days ago there was a new thread on ASR with measurements for DA, for D200, I'm messing up with the numbers, for D200, and the actual measurements are confirming the specification from SMSL, and I think that 2 of them were actually half decibel better than the numbers given in a specification. So that's pretty cool, because these are very good numbers for a digital to analog converter. Now, let's talk about the functionality and let's talk about the build. The first thing is that with the digital to analog converter, you will get a regular SMSL RCA remote. That's very basic remote with plastic build, but it works. It will allow you to assign function to FN button, and you will be able to use the arrows here to control Bluetooth playback, which is actually a pretty cool thing. Now, let's talk about the device externally, about the functionality and about the back of the device. Let's start with the menu, and let's start with the front. As you can see, we have LCD display here. It's full laminated, meaning that you do not have this impression that there is a space between the front glass and the actual display. So it looks really nice, and I really like the fact that it's a color display. We also have a control knob that doubles as a switch, and that's basically it. Somewhere around here we also have an IR sensor for the remote, but it doesn't really matter where exactly it's placed. But the range for the remote is pretty good. Now, we can enter the menu by pressing the knob, and let's start with the first setting. I was at the end. Yeah, the first one is choosing the input. We obviously have a regular choice between USB-C, Bluetooth, optical, coaxial, SPDIF, and that's basically it. Now we can move to the outputs, and in the outputs we can choose all of them available at the same time, or we can select just balanced or RCA single-ended ones. This one is pretty important because this one allows us to choose an external and internal clock. The default setting obviously is an internal clock. SMSL boasts that this digital to analog converter uses new CK03 internal clock. If we will choose external clock, we will see that there will be additional information displayed on the LCD display in the corner. Yeah, let's wait for it. I haven't found information how to use the back functionality in the menu, because long press of the knob will just power off the device. Yeah, this guy. And this means, if it's blinking, this means that it's looking for the external signal. If it will be solid, then it means that it has synchronized with external clock. Now, let's change that to the internal one. PCM filter, I always am a fan of sharp roll-off filters because they give best treble extension and they sound best to my ears. Now, DSD filter, I'm choosing normal here, and I'm listening DSD on very rare occasions because my collection is composed mostly on the FLAC files. So this one is interesting. There wasn't an upgrade of firmware for D200, although it's a very new, very fresh unit. We've already have a firmware upgrade, and in the default firmware that I got with the unit, the sound color was giving options for something like DSD filters. It was described with megahertz for 11 megahertz, I think 52 or something like that. Now, this time we have something completely different, so I guess that the name should also be changed, because we have a choice of oversampling rates and high-pass filters configuration. And if you want to know more about that, you can get to ROHM chip documentation, because it's described there which one of them works, maybe not exactly the best, because they all work in a good way, but which one can be interesting to you. Basically, low OSR means low oversampling rate, high oversampling rate will be HSR, and high pass filter is on or off. My best configuration is high oversampling and filter on. And you can actually check them out and listen and choose the one that will suit your ears the best. We have a selection for the preamplifier mode, which is pretty interesting, because we can choose preamp, The preamp mode is a mode where you will be able to change the volume with this knob, but you can also choose a couple of other options. The last one, fixed maximum. This will basically disable the volume control on the digital to analog converter, and the output levels for balanced and RCA outputs will be set to the maximum. The idea is that this way you will be getting the best resolution out of the digital to analog converter, and you can choose the actual volume, you can set the actual volume with the power amplifier or integrated amplifier that this digital to analog converter will be connected to. So if you are using single or twin, no, sorry, if you are using single PA200, then maybe this would be the best choice. So to set this to the fixed level and use the the volume control from the PA200. But if you'll be using twin PA200 amplifiers, then I would have to check the sound quality to decide which setting will be better. Because if you'll be setting the volume here, you will be slightly lowering the resolution with lower volume levels. On the other hand, having two PA200, you would have to be using, I don't know, remote only to lower and to make the volume higher in sync, to have the volume for both amplifiers set to exactly the same level. I can see my assistant is over there. So that's something that I have to check, and I'll do one video, at least one video more on the full stack, so I will tell you which setting works the best. And the middle one, fixed chosen, is basically exactly as the name implies. You will choose the volume level and it will be staying fixed like that. You won't be able to change that with the volume control. So let's leave it at the preamp mode. Basically, SMSL says that for the preamp mode there are two NGU 315 chips working in perfectly balanced mode. So you have one chip per channel and you'll be changing the volume with this chip. Okay. Function key. As I've told you, you can define what this button will do. The default setting, and my favorite one, is outputs. You can change the phase of the balanced outputs with normal and inverted, and this actually is self-explanatory. You have pin assignments 2 and 3, and you can change the phase. Let's leave it at normal. You can choose the language. Yeah, just 3 of them. Let's stay with English. Dimmer. You can decide after how many seconds the display will be off. Let's leave it disabled for the review purposes. And you can change the brightness. As you can see, we are at the 50% brightness. 100% brightness looks like that. But it's also usable, perfectly usable at 10% level brightness. But let's go to the 50% for the sake of the review. And my camera. And you can obviously reset all the settings to the defaults. Now, upgrading firmware is pretty straightforward. You just need to connect D200 to your PC running Windows, and you will power off the device with the rocker switch in the back, press the volume knob, press the rocker, and keep it like that for a couple of seconds, and you'll have a disk or folder icon displayed here. And in this mode, the D200 will be seen by your PC as an external USB drive. And the firmware upgrade is very straightforward, because you are just copying new files to this USB drive, and that's it. You will restart the device and it will flash itself internally new firmware. So let's talk about the build. Let's power it off. Yep, let's disconnect this cable. And nothing interesting on the top, nothing interesting on the sides, as you can see. But in the back we have a couple of things. We have a set of RCA outputs, we have a set of balanced XLR outputs, we have two SPDIF inputs, one for optical and the second for coaxial inputs. We have USB input, but this one is using USB-C, not USB-B, so you'll better buy USB, good quality USB cable. And we have this guy, that's 10 MHz external clock input, as I've said earlier, usually only seen on digital to analog converters for 5 times the price. This one is also interesting because this is a Bluetooth antenna. This is the first time I'm seeing antenna like that. Very small, very convenient, but if you'd like to have something with better amplification, better antenna, larger one, you can just unscrew this one, and inside here we have a regular connector for a regular Bluetooth antenna. So this is a very small and very nice guy, and for my purposes it works fine. We also have a power socket with integrated master switch. Now let's take a look inside. I've already opened this guy, removing 3 of the 4 screws that are holding the back together. They are placed in here. So let's remove the last one. Take notice of the very nice silicone legs. These are actually very good for dampening any kind of vibrations, and they are also maybe not exactly sticky, but they are very resistive to sliding the digital to analog converter. This is exactly the same type of legs that you've seen on PL200T and on PA200. I really like those legs. So, yep, and that's it. I really love the simplicity of opening this device, and let's try to get a right zoom level. Yeah, maybe not now. Actually, that was better, and I will be zooming in for the interesting bits. Okay, let's get my pointer. Yeah. So, this digital to analog converter is using, according to SMSL, linear power supply that had been built in. We have a power socket, and that section is a linear power supply using ikon 3300 capacitors, 3300 microfarad capacitors. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if you will be able to see that. I will try to point that out for you, but the board is divided in separate sections. You can see that the ground connections are not continuous, and the PCB is using them to divide the whole board into sections. Now, what do we have here? XMOS USB controller is here, ROHM chip is here. Yeah, you can see the markings. All of the blue guys here are Panasonic capacitors. This one is Rubicon. Those 2 guys are Vishay BC capacitors. And as we've seen in a couple of other SMSL devices released recently, we have a couple of sanded down chips. This one, this one, this one, and this one are sanded down. Yeah, these guys are looking like probably some kind of operational amplifiers, but these are for sure operational amplifiers, and these are all Texas Instruments OPA 1612 chips, so that's very nice. And this little guy, I think I've seen it somewhere else. I'm not remember what was that exactly, but this G4 at the end here was very characteristic. So maybe you'll be able to recognize this chip. It looks like some kind of microcontroller because we have clock data, etc. Control points, service points nearby. Yeah, and I think that's it. The Bluetooth board. The Bluetooth board is here, and it's using Qualcomm QCC 5084 chipset. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Yeah, so that's basically it. Clean build, nicely designed board. Interestingly, we have two switches here, but I have no idea what are those for. This one is described as a reset, so let's do not touch that without a reason right now. Yeah, the board is marked with SMSL D200, and that's it. We have a secondary board for the display control, but that's nothing interesting here. And that's it, so let's close the device. Give me a second and we will talk about the sound quality and we will talk about the importance of this little guy here. Just a second. Okay, so let's get back. Let's connect the power source so you'll have something nice to look at while I'll be talking about the sound qualities. Yeah, let's power it on and let's have it like that. Yeah, so that's how the volume control works. It's dead silent and you can do this as well from the remote. Now, getting to the sound quality, let's start as usual with the bass. The bass has excellent extension and goes really low. It's powerful, it's clean, but what's interesting, it's not that neutral. I would say it's slightly, just slightly, on the warm side. And that actually sounds great as it gives organic timbre to low piano and guitar notes. This is a very interesting thing because most of the digital converters are always try to be dead neutral. This one is slightly, just very, very slightly warm in the bass. The measurements do not show that. That's interesting because frequency response basically looks flat, but still I really love the bass here. Now the mid-range. The mid-range has the same natural quality as it was with smaller SMSL D1 digital to analog converter that you've seen in my channel recently, but this time we also get both resolution and clarity. The vocals sound natural with very good timbre and emotion when needed. I really like how D200 handled This Is Halloween by Dali Opticon from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack. This track is filled with tons of different vocals and they all have, they all were rendered in a very natural, organic way. This is actually a very good track to test vocals because each of the singers, and there's something like 20 maybe or 30 of them, has a different voice, and they are placed in a different places around the soundstage, so you can hear this clear, nice timbres of different human voices. Now, let's move to the treble. The treble has very good extension and it's smooth. No, sorry, not very good, but good extension. And it's very smooth. It's like it's trading some air and light for relax and smoothness. Detail is good. There is no sibilance and there is no listening fatigue, but I'd love to get some more clarity here in the treble. But more on that a little bit later, because as I've said, there will be some additional section to my review. Now, detail. Detail is good or very good, but it's not AK4499 level good. With small asterisk here, but more on that again later. It seems like the background is not completely black, and that makes some of the finest, smallest things I know that are there in my tracks not clearly, maybe not visible, but hearable. Overall, I would say that the resolution is good for the money, but not exceptional like it was with the D100 Pro. Now, imaging. The scene is wide and easily loses the speaker positions. There is also proper depth information. Things that should be in the back are in the back. Things that should be in the front are in the front. The center image is precise and has good definition. Instrument images have good placement, but they are a little fuzzy on the boundaries. Now, this is this additional section that I've added here, and it's external clock. What happens when we will connect the external clock to this little guy? Adding external clock transforms D200, and suddenly it's clear, it's transparent, it has better detail and better imaging, which gets also more precise with more air between instruments. It's like an instant level up. The difference is really, really big. It's like getting D200 2.0, or let's call it D200 unveiled. The clock here is a must, as now you can hear what this digital to analog converter based on ROHM is really capable of. I can't stress enough here how big and positive the change is here with external clock. This SMSL set is a kind of like a detective work, or something like following the breadcrumbs, because as I've told you earlier, first I've learned about digital to analog converter for, let's say, 200 series when I saw it on the mock-ups from the marketing photos. At that point in time, it was described to be AK Asahi Kasei based, and a little bit later this guy was released. Now, if you take a look at the marketing photos for this guy, you'll see that there is a partial photo, partial mock-up of the back of the external clock device. And actually that clock device was released a couple of days ago, and I've ordered that one. It has matching case, and it allows you to connect 4 devices, and I will use it to connect both PL200T and D200, and obviously I will let you know what I think about that. So the same chip was used in SMSL D1, and apparently it was held down there by the other parts. But that small digital to analog converter was a very cheap device that was built to a price point. Now D200 is completely different, and ROHM can shine here. It's good as it is, but it gets excellent with external 10 MHz clock. And the changes, as much as I don't like to use that kind of words, dramatic. Same as it was with PL200T CD transport. If you remember, when I was testing PL200T, I was also very surprised to learn how much the sound changed after using external 10 MHz clock, and it was a very positive change. So now, right when I thought that I have full stack, PL200T, Twin PA200 and DA200, so 4 of the guys, I actually own 4 of them. Now I've learned that there is also a matching SMSL G1 external clock. As I told you, I've already ordered one, so expect another complimentary review soon, as it will not need any kind of burn-in time, meaning that I will be able to get the review done faster. Clocks are basically digital devices. The output is just a square waveform, so they do not need any kind of super long burn-in, just a couple of hours to check if the device is stable and there are no problems, no electronic or overheating problems, etc. So be sure to update firmware here. The new version called 1.02 is available on the SMSL portal, and the procedure is quite easy. I've also seen, as I've told you earlier, first measurements on ASR that confirm the specs. That's good. This digital analog converter is different from both Sabre and Asahi Kasei, and I think that's the most important thing here. The overall signature is different. If you remember, I've been reviewing SMSL D200 Pro, and that was using Cirrus Logic chips, 43151, but it was using something like 12 of them. And that one also had a different signature, but I really didn't like this guy. You can check why by looking at my video. But in this case, We are also getting something fresh. The sound signature is different from Asahi Kasei and Sabre chips. We are getting this neutral and very organic mids, and we have this slightly warm bass. So that's something fresh, that's something new, and that's something that I liked. As I said, it has excellent mid-range and organic bass. I'm happy that I got one, and I'm happy that SMSL tries new ways, that it does not produce one DAC, digital to analog converter, after another using the same chips, but they actually try to use other solutions. So, all in all, I'm gonna recommend this one, but make sure, absolutely make sure, to get external clock to squeeze every last bit of performance from your D200. And I think that it's a no-brainer, especially if you already own PL200T or PA200 matching power amplifiers. I will do a video on full stack soon when the G1 clock will be here. But the first thing I'll do will be obviously G1 clock separate review. This video on the full stack will be talking about, I think, something that's quite cool, complete mini system. I have this thing for mini systems dating back from the 90s. They were quite popular, they were looking nice, they were small, and usually the functionality was excellent. But at the same time, usually the sound quality was not so good. So if I can have something like that, a mini system, a complete mini system, but with a good sound quality, I will go for that. So the only thing that this may be lacking, and again, maybe there will be another breadcrumb trail. I would like to see some kind of, I don't know, network streamer or some kind of file player that would complete the stack. Now, I hope you liked this video. If it helped you in any way, you are more than welcome to buy me a beer using PayPal links that are below, or via YouTube Super Thanks, that's also down under the video. Again, all the necessary links and my test system setup details in the video description. Thanks for watching, thanks for staying with me for that long, because the counter says it's 32 minutes, and have a great sunny day, guys. See you next time. Bye.